If you've ever stood in your backyard staring at a patch of soil and thought, I'm going to spend a lot of money on a greenhouse that will never live up to the hype, you're not alone. The fear of investing in something that takes up half your yard, looks great for a season, and then turns into a leaky, drafty mess is real. You want the kind of greenhouse that actually helps you grow tomatoes, herbs, and maybe a few strawberries without turning your wallet into a black hole. And that's exactly why I'm here today to see if the modern shade EverBloom 6.5 by 12 foot wooden greenhouse really delivers on those promises, or if it's just another pretty looking structure that ends up gathering dust. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the biggest decision point for anyone considering a freestanding greenhouse, the material. The EverBloom is built from FS certified cedar, which is a step above the cheap pressure-treated pine you see on a lot of budget kits. Cedar naturally resists rot and insect damage, so if you live in a humid climate or have had trouble with wood deteriorating in the past, this might be the peace of mind you need. It does add to the price tag, but the trade-off is a structure that should hold up for years rather than needing a replacement after a season or two. Now, you might be wondering whether that cedar frame actually translates into a healthier growing environment. The biggest thing I've seen gardeners argue about is temperature control. The EverBloom comes with a symmetrical climate control system, which basically means you get vents on both the roof and the side walls, plus a built-in fan that can circulate air when the sun is beating down. In practice, that setup lets you fine-tune the internal temperature without having to constantly open and close windows manually. If you're growing heat-sensitive plants like lettuce or basil, those vents can prevent the greenhouse from becoming a sauna. On the flip side, if you're in a region that gets strong winds, you'll need to anchor the structure securely because the larger side panels can act like sails. Some owners have reported that the vent mechanisms feel a bit stiff at first, but after a couple of seasons of use, they loosen up nicely. One of the most practical features that sets this model apart is the built-in outdoor faucet kit. For anyone who's ever tried to hose down seedlings or keep a misting system running, you know how annoying it can be to run a hose across your yard just to reach the greenhouse. The EverBloom's faucet connects directly to a standard garden hose and sits on the exterior wall, so you can water your plants without dragging a pipe through the middle of your garden. The faucet also has a shut-off valve, which means you can leave it attached year-round without worrying about leaks. In real-world use, this saves you a few minutes each day, a small but noticeable convenience if you're tending to dozens of pots. Built-in shelving is another area where the design tries to be clever. The greenhouse includes 3 adjustable shelves that run the length of the interior, giving you a vertical workflow that maximizes the 8-foot height. For someone who has a small plot but wants to grow vertically, those shelves let you stack tomato cages, herb trays, and even a small hydroponic setup without crowding the floor space. The downside is that the shelves are fixed to the frame, so if you ever need to reconfigure the interior layout, you're limited to the preset positions. If you're an experimental gardener who likes moving things around, you might find that a little restrictive. Power is often an afterthought, but the EverBloom includes a built-in power strip with a weatherproof cover. That means you can plug in a grow light, a small heater, or a fan without having to run an external extension cord through the door. It's a tidy solution and reduces the risk of tripping over cords when you're moving between rows. Just keep in mind that the power strip can only handle a limited load, so you won't be able to run a heavy heater and a high-wattage LED light simultaneously without overloading it. For most hobby gardeners, however, a single grow light or a modest heater is more than enough. If you're considering this greenhouse for commercial or semi-commercial use, the commercial-grade insulation and ergonomics claim is worth dissecting. The roof is insulated with a clear polycarbonate panel that offers decent value for a wooden greenhouse, but it's not on the level of double-glazed glass structures. In practice, it means you can maintain a warmer temperature than a simple hoop house, yet you'll still need supplemental heating in colder months if you want to grow year-round. For a backyard hobbyist, the insulation is sufficient to extend the growing season by a couple of months, but it won't replace a fully heated greenhouse. So, who should buy the EverBloom? If you're a serious hobby gardener with a moderate budget, the combination of Cedar construction, integrated irrigation, and built-in shelving makes